And now, Internet is Everything proudly presents 12 It is based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young girl named 12 had 6 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Tina, Winona, Elena, Lana, Verona, and Ella. Tina, Winona, Elena, Lana, Verona, and Ella made 12 do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Tina, Winona, Elena, Lana, Verona, and Ella all together. One day, the king of 12's messengers arrives and says, Hear ye, the king of 12 is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Stuart Coupling. But 12 is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. They then argue over who will Prince Stuart Coupling marry. Later, 12 is so sad about not going to the ball and marry Prince Stuart Coupling while doing chores. Suddenly, her fairy godmother asks 12 what's wrong by saying, Why are you crying, 12? So, in which 12 responds, I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Stuart Coupling. 12's fairy godmother says, I can help with a bit of magic. And waves her magic wand. And because of that, 12 chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 12 go fetch me a pumpkin. Luckily, 12 has 12 pumpkins. 12's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn 12 pumpkins into a handsome coach drawn by 24 strong horses, and then 12 rip clothes and do-rag into a gown and crown. 12 said, I've never seen such a cobble-tastic gown. Get a load of my glass slippers. How can I ever thank you enough? 12's fairy godmother said, Well, you can't. But have fun, 12 but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. 12 accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Stuart Coupling was wondering who he should marry. Tina, Winona, Elena, Lana, Verona, and Ella say all together, He's walking towards me! But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 12. May I have this dance? Asks Prince Stuart Coupling. 12 responds, I would be delighted. Prince Stuart Coupling and 12 dance happily together. But later, 12 realized it's almost midnight. So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost both her glass slippers. Prince Stuart Coupling was so worried that he might never see 12 again. So he traveled all around 12ville to find her and brought the 2 glass slippers with him. By the time he arrives, he knocks on the door of the home where 12 and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 12 he finds Tina, Winona, Elena, Lana, Verona, and Ella. Prince Stuart Coupling then said, Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Tina is first, but her foot is too big. Winona is next, but her foot is too small. The rest are the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince Judah Coupling notices 12 singing. The glass slippers fit! 12 gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Judah Coupling back. And then 12 and Prince Judah Coupling lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoying this story, Andrews Doers. And if you want to see some more sequels or Cinderella parodies, tell your friends about it. And I bet you're not gonna, I don't know. I bet you're gonna have a ball. And I must say, don't lose a shoe. Take care. Bye. And now, Andrew's Doers. Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 512 Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella, with a bit of a twist. Once upon a time, there was a young woman named 512 Cinderella. 512 Cinderella had 17 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Fiona, Isabella, Verona, Ella, Huerta, Uma, Nina, Dahlia, Ramona, Estrella, Davina, Tasha, Winona, Alara, Lana, Valentina, and Anna. All 17 of them constantly made fun of 512 Cinderella and made her do all the chores. 512 winch, sweep the floors, wash the dishes and windows, do it all, said the 17 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters all together. One day, the king of 512's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, the king of 512, his kind-hearted, wise, but royal majesty is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Quingentabling. But 512 Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. They ran overjoyed with huge excitement and picked out dresses to wear to the ball, but argue over who will Prince say Quingentabling marry. Later, 512 Cinderella is so sad, doing chores about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Quingentabling while doing chores. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks 512 Cinderella what's wrong by saying, Why are you crying, 512 Cinderella? 512 Cinderella responds, I can't go to the ball and marry a prince. Decide Quingentabling. Her fairy godmother says, I can help with a bit of magic. Nobody will know it's you. And waves her magic wand. Because of that, 512 Cinderella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet, she said. 512 Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 512 Cinderella has 512 pumpkins and 1,024 mice. 512 Cinderella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 512 pumpkins into a handsome coach, and drawn by the mice, turning into 1,024 strong horses, and then 512 Cinderella's wear clothes and drag into a gown and crown. 512 Cinderella said, I've never seen such a duo-dice quingentuple-tastic gown! And get a load of my glass slippers! Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? $500. Fairy godmother said, well, you can't. But have fun. $512, but I will warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. And so, 512 Arella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Duo's Dicer quingentupling was wondering who he should marry. The ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters say, he's walking towards me! Altogether, but he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 512 Arella. May I have this dance? Asks Prince Duodice quingentupling. 512 Arella responds, I will be delighted. Prince Duo Dice quingentupling and 512 Arella dance happily together. But a few hours later, 512 Arella roses almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost both her glass slippers. Prince Duo Dice quingentupling was so worried that he might never see 512 Arella again, so he and his father, the king of 512ville, traveled all around the neighborhood to find her, and brought the glass slippers with them. By the time they arrived, they knocked on the door of the home where 512 Arella and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 512 Arella, they find her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters. Prince Duodice quingentupling then says, Ladies, my father, the king of 512 and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on these glass slippers? Fiona is first, but her feet are too big. Isabella is next, but her feet are too small. Nonsense! They fit! The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, the king of 512ville and Prince Duodice quingentupling notice 512 Arella's sweet singing. The glass slippers fit! 512 Arella transforms back into a princess and gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Duodice quingentupling back. And then they both lived happily ever after. Even the king of 512ville. The end. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrew Stewards. Don't forget to subscribe, like it, share, and Andrew does everything. And buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. And take care. Bye.